I'm Lucas,
And I'm Russell.
and you're
And
listening.
you're listening to Sad Boy Podcast.
Yeah, Sad Boy.
Sad Boy Podcast. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Sad Boy Podcast.
Welcome back. This week is we're preparing for, Valentine's Day because it's coming up. So we brought back Cora as a guest.
Welcome back, Cora.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm happy to be back for this week's podcast on Valentine's Day.
I know. It's like a special time of the year where people buy their significant others gifts and chocolates and flowers. And it'll be interesting this year. I think this year is I would say it's very different from how people would usually celebrate Valentine's Day before. So how are you doing, Cora?
I'm doing really well. I got a job offer.
Oh, really?
Yes, I
Nice.
did. Yes, it's a conditional offer, but I'm hoping references will pass.
Mhm.
And it's for a job I really wanted for a very long time.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
it's like a big career change for me. Because
What kind of job is it?
So it's not for profit.
Mhm.
It's something I've been always wanting to do to make the community more vital. It's helping people who are in need, youth at risk,
Yeah.
people are
Okay.
in poverty, low income families, newcomers. So
Oh,
it's
that's
helping them in career development. And that's something I studied in human resources back in university. So I'm very excited. It's a big change for me, right? As
Yeah.
the public sector. And I feel pretty good about it because, like, I'm a woman with, like, I guess I really care about my career as a woman. So, and also my career development, my business. So, like, this is probably one of the happiest times of my life.
That's great. We're
That's
actually
good to
very
hear.
excited for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Do you think it'll be stressful running, like doing that job and then also running Love Peace TO and all the events that you have?
No, I don't think so. Because cause I'm really dedicated to what I like to do.
Mhm.
Like, and I really do well in multitasking.
Mhm.
So Monday to Friday, I'll be doing my 9 to 5 job for the public sector, and then Saturdays and the weekends, I would like to dedicate to, like, Love Peace TO, and also some evenings as well.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's something, like, even my workplace, they encourage it too, because, like, they know what I'm doing and they think it's really great. And I think it's one of the reasons why they even hired me on, is because, like, I'm like a entrepreneur. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
they like to me connecting with people. Yeah.
That's
That's
actually
pretty cool.
yeah, and then to be honest, it kind of for some reason it's the same message that we've been trying to convey with the past few episodes of the podcast as well,
Yes.
like regarding like hobbies and like kind of managing your time and everything. So it's actually good to hear that everything's like been going really great for you.
Thanks. It really
We have a
has.
success story now.
Success story, yes. And, like, yeah, it's been an interesting time for me because during COVID, it's very hard to get a job, because you see on Indeed, right? Lots of people are applying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
thousands, like hundreds of people getting those jobs, right? But I know a few people who actually changed their careers during COVID because they have
Oh,
more
really?
time. Yeah, they have a lot more times in their hands, and, like, they're applying, like, every day for the jobs that they liked, and they got it. They got it.
That's
I
good.
think me and Lucas are kind of in the same boat where like we're also job hunting.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's
Good
kind
luck.
of rough.
Yeah, it's a bit
Bit
worse for
rough.
Lucas because like he just graduated, so that's like
So-
a bit worse for him. And then
Because
I'm
I
like,
don't have- I don't have
yeah,
that experience, so
yeah,
Oh,
and then I
okay.
have my job, but except like they're shut down, so I'm still job hunting. But then some of the companies that I know of, like they were hiring, but then because of the lockdown and everything right now, they have to shut down again too. So like everything's just kind of at a standstill for us.
Oh, okay. Well, like,
Yeah.
maybe, like, when I start my new job, I can help you guys out because I do resume workshops.
Oh,
okay, that'll be real good.
Yeah,
Pretty
and I
great.
help. Yeah, and I help people find jobs at my new role. So like
Okay.
once I get in, I get all my training done, and I'll just like talk to you guys, touch base, and see what's up.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Thank
That
you.
can work. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And maybe even like if you're down for maybe even like for salt as well.
Oh yes, that's interesting. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
like running like a full on resume workshop and cover letter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be actually really cool if you could get that running. If
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
because the thing for
Uh-huh.
salt is that like we've been holding like a feedback survey, and for
Uh-huh.
the listeners who don't know what salt is, it's just like subtle Asian leftovers Toronto. But essentially we've been running the survey to kind of get feedback from people and what they want to see from salt and all that stuff. And some people have said to like maybe we can run like online workshops for like certain things, then like maybe they'd participate more. So maybe in the future we can discuss about that too.
Yeah, that sounds very good. Yeah, maybe in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Once everything's more settled for you too, like after you like get the job and everything and the training, like you said, then
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But now
Yes.
back to the main point of this podcast,
Yes.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
So, like I said,
Mhm.
the way that Valentine's Day is happening this year, I think it's very different from how people used to celebrate. Because people back then would usually make reservations, go out to restaurants, fancy dinners, and all that stuff. But this year has been a really big change, um, to the point where like right now no restaurants are open for dining, everything's takeout. So I'm gonna start with let's start with before COVID. Okay, so because you've been running all the speed dating and matchmaking events, right? Um, what was your experience like for those people who participated for like Valentine's Day, and like your memories of back then, like doing Valentine's Day related events?
Yes. Last year, I hosted a Valentine's Day event in downtown Toronto, where the distillery district is. It was at a bar called Boku, and we did speed dating. Like it was like 6 minutes per person for each couple, and
Hmm.
then the girl would remain at her spot, and then the men will rotate clockwise, right? And then I
Yeah.
would ring the bell, and we had some guest speakers come in and talk about like Asian dating, which is
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
And in the end, we walked out. So there was a beautiful like outdoor where there's like lights, and you could see the love and peace sign as well from the Soyu district. And we had the
Mhm.
rose ceremony. So the girls were being seated, and then the men would be encouraged to give their rose out or keep it.
Hmm.
And all the
Mhm.
men would be deciding, and it was really cute, right? And some girls got a lot of roses, and they had a very good time. And that was my experience last year. It was a really beautiful rose ceremony.
Yeah, I remember
Sounds really
seeing pictures
nice.
of it.
Yes,
Yeah, from Sat GTA or something. Like they had some photos, and I think there were some photos from you as well. And
yes,
they looked really nice back then.
it was. It was a really lovely time. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it a lot. And that was my experience, right? And like back then, even when you go on a date for Valentine's Day, like the guy will like get a restaurant table and then bring in some roses and have a lovely meal. But this year things are different, whereas
yeah,
like people are gonna stay home and have a home cooked meal, and maybe decide on getting roses or homemade chocolates, right?
oh, yeah.
So, yeah, people are doing those sort of activities, still celebrating, but like, at home.
Not as extreme as before.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. What has been your like best Valentine's Day experience?
My best bond. Honestly, I think it was definitely last year when I hosted the Valentine's Day event.
Hmm.
And I saw like how the rose ceremony went through. Like
Yeah.
it was actually like a really magical moment. When you see The Bachelor, right? Like on
Hmm.
the live
Mhm.
TV show, like the guy gives a rose to like the girl that he likes, and seeing that in real life and having like candidates do that,
Hmm.
it's like reality TV, but you see it in front of you, and you make it happen. So that was probably the best experience I had.
Mhm.
I love collaborations. Like I'm a community person. Like I like to
Yeah.
make things happen and change things.
Yeah. That's yeah. I know because I was just thinking like it'd be really cool if one day you got to like turn your events into like an actual reality show for like Netflix or something.
Yes, I actually had someone told me that, right? She actually told me maybe one day you can have your own Netflix show.
Yeah,
Um
because I mean, like nowadays, like Netflix has been having so much more like Asian representation in their reality shows. So it's like it'd be cool if they made like like a Bachelor version, but like just for Asians.
yes, that'd
That
be
would
It's
be
like
really
you
cool.
can be
cool.
the director of it,
I can read the
the
director.
organizer.
It would be like that Wong Fu Asian Bachelorette, but like
Oh yeah,
hosted by
Yes.
Cora.
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Like a Canadian version, right? Because
Yeah,
I honestly think we lack that Canadian culture, like
We
that.
do.
Yeah, so I would really want to push the Canadian culture more.
Yeah, because I think like Asians in the U.S. and Canada, we all act pretty differently.
Yeah,
yeah.
we do. Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, it would be nice to get like more of a Canadian Asian side to a lot of things.
yes.
Yeah. Wait, what about Lucas? What's been your best Valentine's Day memory?
Um, I don't think I have any besides like going out to eat at restaurants with my ex or exes. That's honestly really it. That's really what we did.
Yeah, that's
One,
true.
yeah. Well, I don't have like any that's like like what Cora did, Asian Bachelorette.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because even when I try to think of like if I have any good memories, it's like unfortunately almost every time I've been in a relationship, it's either like we end our relationship before Valentine's Day starts or whatever, or it's just like it just never happens.
or it just starts after Valentine's Day start.
Yeah, yeah. So I've never had like a proper Valentine's Day experience except for this year, but um,
Not
so
yet.
like not yet. Well,
Yeah.
in a few days. Um, but like, speaking of Valentine's dates, right? Like, what would be like the most ideal Valentine's Day that you guys would want to experience? Would it just be like the typical, restaurant or like right now in COVID, like just homemade food and all that, or like is there some like extravagant idea that you guys have in your minds that you guys would want to, see come to reality?
That's a very good question. Like personally, um, I would like someone like if I had a potential partner in the future, right? Because I like something special. I
Hmm.
would like maybe like a nice like dinner date, but then like I will enjoy like a walk by like the water, and then we go
Oh yeah.
dancing. Yeah, I really like to dance, so I would
Oh
like
really?
yes, I would like to have like a partner who wants to go dancing with me, right?
Oh
Oh.
To like some nice music on like a rooftop bar, right? And then end the night there.
yeah.
Yeah, something like a little cute, but like I'm very spiritual as well. So
Hmm.
I would like to connect with my partner like intellectually and
Yeah,
also
for sure.
spiritually.
Yeah.
Talk about some goals that may be there for the future. Like this is a very interesting topic because I have a really good friend who
Hmm.
recently broke up with her boyfriend of 5 years.
Oh
Oh.
no.
Yes, and
Oh.
she's like she's very successful. She's like a CEO. She has her own company. She wrote her own book, and
Hmm.
she was not upset with her breakup at all. She was very happy about it. Her boyfriend is like her ex boyfriend now is still her good friend. They still encourage each other. It's just that they lost. They didn't even have a fight. They just lost feelings for each other over time,
Hmm.
Yeah,
and
that
it was
happens.
like it was very different because me and her were like friends for so long since university, and
Yeah.
like every time she broke up she would have like like a huge dramatic scene with tears with screaming and everything. It got kind of crazy, but this time like she matured so much. Like it was a civil breakup. They're still friends, they still support each other. And then her ex-boyfriend told her is like, I'm letting you go because I want to see you do better in life, and there are things that, we're together and I feel like I'm holding you back.
Hmm.
So her boyfriend told her that, and they broke up. They still talk to each other daily because she runs a business and he supports her. But
Yeah.
she also told him that, if you see someone new, I know this will have to end because it's not respectable for your new partner, because you want to start a new relationship that's brand new.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she told me, like, I was like, this is like a happy ending. And then she told me, this is a happy beginning.
Hmm.
That
Yes. It
sounds like
was,
a K drama,
it sounds
to be
okay, though,
honest.
but this is fully real. This is
Yeah,
fully
I know, I know.
100%. Yeah, that was like a drama. And
It's pretty rare for like
yeah,
Yeah.
today where people do that.
yes, and I think people should be like that when they break up. Like, be respectable, right? Wish
Yeah.
each other well. Like, there's no, because like you guys lose feeling, it's not gonna work out, right? And it's ending. Why
Yeah.
do we have to be so bitter? Have all this like crazy drama, all these insecurities lash out. I actually prefer this where, people end in a respectable manner. It's civil, it's clean, it's nice, no hard feelings.
Yeah. Because it's like at the end of the day, like when you break up with someone, I mean, depending on circumstance, right? Like if someone cheated on you, then obviously, yeah, I get like there's bad feelings, but
Yes.
it generally, like, I think people tend to focus more on the negatives. So like it's very rare for someone to like, break up and be like, okay, like I'm still really grateful for the relationship and everything that's happened because it's brought a lot of like great memories. Right. I think a lot of people don't really do that in today's world. Everyone's more focused on like the flaws of the person, which even I don't know why it's like that. So like it's like you said, like the breakup should kind of be like that. Like it should be very mutual, like civil, no hard feelings type. But it's just I don't know why people catered more towards like a negative memory rather than a positive memory.
That's
I think
true.
that just depends on the person
Hmm.
and like
Yeah,
yeah, the situation of the breakup. Where
yeah,
like emotions
Hmm.
are high and like you want to be bitter or
yeah,
be resentful and whatever happens.
yeah.
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 Yeah, because it's like with my girlfriend, like she's told me stories of like her past relationships. Like sometimes they've ended because they cheated on her, but I mean, she like obviously like didn't like it, but she still tries to remember like all the good times from the relationships, and she's been
Hmm.
grateful for all of that too.
That's great. Like,
Yeah,
I guess I want to talk about cheating as well. Like, that's another topic that happens a lot, right?
in
That
today's world, yes.
Yes, and like, I want to ask you, like, for men, what's some factors that like make men cheat?
That's a good question. So,
Um.
okay, Lucas, you answer first.
Wow. Is it because you think I have experience of this? Okay. Well, I think it's like it depends on how the relationship would be going. Let's say you're unhappy with the relationship, and you meet someone new, and that sparks something in life. It would make you want. It would make you want to cheat or like have that temptation or something.
No, it,
But
it
for
makes
some
sense.
people, it depends on the person. Like if they're the type of person that like that wants to cheat, they will cheat. But
Yeah,
Mhm.
that they're just a bad person at that point. But
yeah.
sometimes,
I think what happens for some people is that when they get really comfortable in the relationship, they kind of want that, I guess, adrenaline again. So I think that's when they decide to cheat because I guess they like the thrill of like, doing something that is like, not allowed. So they get the little thrill of like hiding and sneaking and everything. And maybe they feel more fulfilled like that. I'm not 100% sure. But I think that is like one of the reasons. And then I don't know, because I'm very against like the idea of cheating because it's kind of like if you're with someone and you start having feelings for another person, then why can't you be an adult and end that first relationship so that it avoids any painful heartbreak? Well, I mean, like
yeah, for
heartbreak's
sure.
gonna happen, but like kind of like minimize the damage, kind of thing, right? Like, yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Because if like a relationship's going stale,
yeah,
um, like the danger of being caught or like doing something bad is kind of exciting. Um,
yeah,
Not that I'm not saying it's a good thing, but
yeah.
that's Yeah, the feeling of excitement just makes people want to
Yeah.
cheat.
But then it's like
Mhm.
my opinion when like if a relationship goes stale,
Yeah.
like I feel like a relationship shouldn't be able to go stale because I think the biggest I guess mistake that people make is that once you're with that person, they stop trying.
Yeah,
I
that's
think to me that's one of the biggest mistakes in relationships because I think like even a lot of posts you've seen on like social media is always saying like even though you're with this person, like never stop trying, like always try to make an effort to like maybe go on mini dates and have date night kind of thing because that's the whole point, right? Like you're putting an effort nonstop into the relationship rather than just, oh, I'm dating this person now, it's time for me to just like do whatever now.
yeah, like you've been chasing and now you finish chasing, so you stop chasing.
Yeah, and I,
Something like
and I,
that.
and I know some people who like only do it for the chase and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens to those people? Like, do you know anyone who cheated, and what has happened to them afterwards? Like, do you believe like karma will happen?
Hmm. I don't think I know anyone that's cheated. I actually need to think about this. Lucas, do you have anyone?
Um, I'm not sure if it's karma or anything. I
Yeah.
don't think anything bad happened to them.
Hmm.
Like bad things happen just because they happen, not because of karma or anything, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like if the person gets into a new relationship and the person who cheated gets cheated on, that'll be karma. But I do not know anyone that has happened. I do not know anyone that has happened to it.
Oh, I just thought of a story that I just remembered. It is about
Okay.
cheating.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna name drop any of these people. These people I've known for since high school, but I do not talk to them anymore.
Okay.
But essentially, what happened was like I had a friend who was like hooking up with this guy. This is like 2 3 years ago. They've been hooking up for a long time, and apparently this dude was engaged. So like on the day of the wedding, he had the audacity to invite my friend to the wedding as well
For what?
to meet the yeah to
What?
meet the
Wow.
wife. Yeah, I'm just like what, and I was so shook. Then I
Okay.
had another friend who she was hooking up with one of their neighbors,
Hmm.
and she was also engaged with her fiance. And apparently he found out, but he didn't do anything, and they still ended up getting married.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and I felt bad for the guy because like he's like a really chill kind of guy. Like he's very laid back and everything. And the fact that our friend circle kind of found out that she was cheating with like the neighbor for like months.
Wow.
Let's see.
Yeah. And karma, like nothing bad has happened to them yet, which to me I'm kind of like bitter about because I'm like the fact that you're doing this to like hurt the person that loves you so
Hmm.
much,
Hmm.
like I really do hope karma hits them.
Yeah. It makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
because it's heartbreaking. I remember like when he found out, like the look on his face was just like he couldn't believe it.
Did he forgive her?
He ended up forgiving her.
Wow.
Yeah, but they've been together since like they've been together for a long time. I'd say almost over a decade.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah, and their age gap is really big too, so that's why it's a bit. I don't know. Maybe for him, it's like he'd rather just settle.
Hmm.
But yeah, not
It's
not much karma there.
Yeah, it's hard though. Like it's hard when like especially like for married couples when like somebody cheats in the relationship.
Yeah,
Like it's very hard, especially when you have children, right? I see like a lot of those things happen.
yeah,
So like I honestly think like you have to be a person that's loving, who's respectful, who won't even think about cheating. Because
yeah,
respecting yourself and also like your life. What do you think of yourself and your life? Like, you do something
yeah,
so sneaky and shady and someone looks at you and someone finds out the truth of who you are, right?
yeah.
Like that's kind of like I don't know, do these people have shame?
I don't think they do because it's like I feel like when they're around people who do the same thing, it's like it's almost like they're encouraging each other, and I think that's very horrible.
Toxic.
It is, because it's like basically encouraging people to hurt those people that care about them,
That's very
just for the
true.
sake of having a thrill or excitement in life when you can literally have excitement with anything in life. It doesn't have
That's
to be
true.
something bad like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, have you had any experience with like all that stuff?
I do, and I know a girl like she that happened to her, and she kind of like she like the reason why her boyfriend cheated was because he found someone who was like younger, more attractive, right? And
Yeah.
she was like having like lots of insecurities from this,
Hmm.
but she rose from the ashes and she got her life together. She got like a better job. She made like really like decent income. She bought her own place. And she started working out, and like he actually came back after finding out like she's doing so well in life that like she got like so like physically attractive. She was fit. She had a great job. And she was also meditating and doing good things for herself. He
Yeah.
came back. He wanted to take her back because like she's doing well now. And she said no, right? Like, I'm a
Good on
different
her.
person now.
Yeah.
And you're still the same shady asshole, right?
I hope she did
Yeah.
take him back.
No, she didn't. She
Good.
didn't.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
All
She
the
did.
power to her.
All the
Yeah.
power to her.
Yeah. But yeah, like these cheaters, I no matter what, it's just like I don't really know 100% what goes through their head when this stuff happens, because it's just like you just shouldn't be doing that. But then
Yeah.
it comes there like another question then happens, right? So
Mhm,
yeah, this is like I wonder what your opinion on this is then.
mhm.
So when a couple decides to take a break, right? Do you
Yes.
think that gives them the permission to do something with some other person?
This is a very tricky area
It is very tricky.
because you're on the break. It's not a full on breakup,
Yeah.
right? And like it's very dangerous because like when you're on a break and then like the guy, like if he has no, I don't know if he's spiritual, he practice like Christianity values or whatnot, but most people don't, and they start hooking up with people,
Yeah.
right? And then like health reasons, right? Like STDs, HIV. It's very dangerous stuff, right? Because like they're
Yeah.
probably not doing the whole health check when they're hooking up with these people, so
Yep.
Yeah.
they must use like condoms and such. But like when you back in the break, you talk to your girlfriend, she's gonna be very like upset, right? Like some people could turn a blind eye,
Yeah.
but like on your part, like how much do you value this person and respect her? Some
Yeah.
people I know, they would never like I like one of my friends, like her husband, they had a break. He said no, like this is just like maybe a bad time for a relationship. And then she went to Hong Kong. He bought a flight ticket and he went to like chase her and got her back, right? And now they're married. Like he won't even dream of like another girl. Like he is
Yeah.
so faithful to her, 100%. I spoke to her the other day because I was looking for houses near her area in
Hmm.
Willowdale, like in Young and Shepherd,
Yeah.
and she told me that like like things are not working out for her career, but she has her husband to fall back on, right? That's like her rock, right? And
Yeah.
she's so secure with him. Like she knows that this man will never ever like be with another woman, right? And that's
Yeah.
why she chose him. That's why she chose him to be her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good because it's always really tricky, because I even know like some stories of some friends who like
Yeah.
they go on a break and then they just start hooking up, and then afterwards their partner finds out, and then they had to go through like a whole discussion, whole argument, and all that stuff. And well, they're not together anymore, but I think like they're still really close friends apparently. But it's
Mhm.
just like during that time, like just listening to like both their sides, it's just like, why did you go hook up then? Like just like the point of a break isn't for you to just go and look for someone else immediately. The point of a break is that both of you work on yourselves and figure things out first.
Yes, that's right. That's right. But like, I guess a lot of people like they don't have like a sense of like morals or values in terms of respecting their partners and also their own bodies, right?
Yeah.
They're so into the media, and they're so, I think Instagram's a big influence, right? There's so many like women who's revealing their bodies, and then like
Yeah.
men, like I don't want to say mean things about the men, but like men will say like, I'm horny, right? I
Yeah.
need sex and you're gone, blue balls or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those are his excuses, and then he thinks these are legitimate excuses of why I need to hook up with people because I'm lonely and horny.
Yeah. It's I don't even have an explanation for that.
No, I
Yeah.
don't either. People are just like that.
Yes,
And
exactly,
it's not
right?
even just Instagram, because it's also dating apps too. Because I know, like, I mean, this is getting into like the whole discussion of like whether dating apps are good or not. But to
Mhm.
me, it's like dating apps, because it's so convenient to just swipe right and left, that people aren't really investing much time in their relationships. It's like, I think my assumption is that these people just think, oh, if something doesn't work out, oh well, bye bye. Like, I'm just gonna go on dating apps, swipe right, swipe left, and I'll just find someone else. Right? I think
Yeah,
dating apps and social media, Instagram, like, they're all taking values from a relationship away from it.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's
That's
true.
why I'm low key against dating apps, but at the same time, like during the times that I was single, I was pretty
Mhm.
much on it, but not too often, because it's like it it does take up quite a bit of time.
It's true.
Yeah,
How did
once
you
you're on a
meet
dating
your
app, it's kind
girlfriend?
of like you're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
And it just gets deeper and deeper until you just like until you close it, until you
yeah,
force yourself to
basically,
close it.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
And how did
What?
you meet your current girlfriend?
That is a very confusing story.
Okay.
But essentially, I think
Okay.
Lucas knows the story.
I know like half of it. I
Okay.
Okay.
know half of it.
Let's just say that she was also in Salt,
Okay.
and one random day she decided to message one of our group chats saying that she wanted to hang out. So then someone in the group chat tagged me and was asking me to like organize like a group event kind of thing. So as I was organizing a group event, because she was bored, she wanted to go to eat, so I was messaged her on the side, and I was like, hey, like, what kind of food like do you like, so I can plan like an actual like lunch group event kind of thing. um but then on the same day, she then asked me, like, oh, are you free to like get bubble tea or whatever? And then we ended up going to get bubble tea, even though this, like, at the time, this was like a very like platonic thing, but I was still very surprised that she was willing to meet a complete stranger on the internet. And I was also scared of meeting, because strangers from the internet is still weird to me. Um, but anyway, some things happened, and then we just started seeing each other more, and then yeah,
That's cute. That's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
How long has it been you guys been dating for?
So we met in August. Yeah, beginning of August till now. Or we
Oh,
weren't official until like end of August.
oh, okay. That's cute. It was summer love.
Yeah, and because of COVID, like, our relationship has been a bit different, because we literally started off with her living with me already.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's the reason for that is because when I first met her, my
Mhm.
family was in the process of moving, right? So
Okay.
my house was having open houses and everything, by appointment, because it's during COVID.
Yeah.
But either way, like, my whole family went over to live at my brother's place, so it was just me at the house alone for like a few months. And then during that time, I met her, and then because I was like home alone all the time, she just started coming over, and then one day my parents didn't tell me that they were coming over, and then that's how she accidentally met my parents.
Wow.
And then my parents didn't really freak out. They were just like, oh, okay, cool. And then they invited her to dinner at my brother's. So okay, we went to eat dinner at my brother's, and that's when she met my family. And then since then, she's just been living with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how's that going? Like, are you enjoying it?
uh I shouldn't be hesitating on this answer, but yes, it's been interesting, because typically
Mhm.
when you start a relationship, you don't see each other that often, right? You just
Yeah.
see each other maybe once or twice a week max. So it is a quite a change to see her every single day. which I think there's a good and bad side to it. The bad side being, I guess it's like, this is one thing I learned back then when I watched like YouTube videos on dating coaches. A little embarrassing thing about me, but basically they always said like, attraction is always the first to show or first to appear and first to leave. And
That's
being,
interesting.
yeah, they always taught like that, and also like, being close and with each other all the time isn't a good thing either, because in a relationship both parties need to have their own separate times to do their own thing, right? So yeah, they always say like attraction is always the first to appear and first to disappear, and love is the only thing that grows from distance, kind of thing. Or no, love grows in closeness, attraction grows from distance,
I
something
really
like
like
that.
that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
It's very wise, and it's good to hear. Good for the ears.
Yeah, because I know like back then for me, I was always someone who like just wanted to always spend time with like the other person, like no matter what, I'm just always there. But then it kind of goes with like the idea of like you shouldn't be making yourself too available, because then that person may get bored of you.
Mm-hmm.
So this relationship with me and my girlfriend, this has always been one of my fears, I guess, that like,
Mm-hmm.
the more time we spend together, like I'm scared like what if one day she gets like bored of the relationship, or she loses feelings and she leaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But luckily for us, like we, I guess we connect on a lot of different things, and I guess for us the best thing is that we can be really weird and comfortable with one another. It's like sides of us that we would never show the public, the weirdness and like the stupid shit that we do.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
think you have like honest communication with each other?
I would say we're trying, because the thing with her is because she has quite a bit of mental health issues.
Yeah.
So me knowing a bit about anxiety and depression and how to manage those things, I've always told her like, usually when relationship starts, the first thing is that you need to start kind of establish the way we're going to communicate with one another, because everyone has a different way of communicating. So for us, because I knew of her issues, I told her it's going to take us a bit longer to find our, I guess, middle ground of how to communicate with one another, because sometimes her anxiety will randomly trigger, and then I got to find a way to kind of help calm it down. Like there's a lot of things that I think it's still in a work in progress. Um, but then again, it's also those things where like I don't think we'll ever, have an answer. It's kind of those things like every day we take it one step at a time.
That's true.
Yeah, and even before, like in relationships, she's told me, and for me as well, like we've always looked at like, the future, and then that gives us a lot of anxiety, which makes us
Mm-hmm.
act out on it,
Mm-hmm.
which can be a turn off for the other person. So with this relationship, me and her, the good thing is that we've agreed that we're going to take this, one day at a time,
That's good.
and just
That's
enjoy
good.
every single moment that we have with one another, rather than thinking, oh, like, is she going to break up with me in a week? Is she going to break up with me in a month? Like, we try our best to kind of not think that. And even if we do, we just kind of communicate with one another, and we try to reassure the other person as much as we can.
That's good. I think having self control and also like respect for each other is vital. Like
Yeah.
in a successful relationship, like mutual respect is really important.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
In the beginning, with me and her, um, we we had a lot of clashes, because when we first met, it was kind of like we didn't fully understand each other yet. So a lot of our initial responses would be like us trying to speak our opinion and our experiences, almost in the way of like kind of like discrediting their experiences.
Hmm.
And I think that's not even just in relationships, that's just people in general. It's where we speak our personal truths in a way that it kind of sounds like we're discrediting the other person's personal truths.
Hmm.
So because I realized that, I think like a month or two into our relationship, that's when I started to kind of think, okay, like next time, she talks to me about issues or stories, whatever, I just think I'm just gonna listen, and then instead of giving any responses, I'm gonna, ask if she wants, advice from me, or like my opinion or whatever. right? It's been a really big work in progress, but I think it's totally worth it. And even for her, like she's told me, like one of the things that she likes most about me is that um, I don't stop trying. And I think that's very important for even any relationship is to always put in that effort. No matter how long you've dated, how much you guys like each other, you should still be putting in that effort to constantly reassure that person that you want to be with them.
I think it's
Yeah.
great you recognize this, and I think you're a very nurturing human being, and I think
Thank you.
you're doing really well with your relationship and how you're approaching things.
Yeah. Well, things will be different in like a week or two because
Hi.
because she's seen that I have a cat and my brother and sister-in-law have a cat. She decided to get a cat herself as well.
Wait, did she already
Wow.
get a cat?
She thought
Yes, so the cat's
okay.
coming in on Valentine's Day actually. So
Wow.
ever since so after that day, she's gonna be going back to her place to live. So that's when it's gonna be another test of how well our communication can work. Because then
Wow.
now
Okay.
for the past
Wow.
half a year we've been
Mhm.
seeing each other every day. Communication is now it's not as bad because we see each other every day, and if
Yeah.
we need alone time, she can go upstairs to our room to do her thing, and then I'm downstairs on the computer doing my thing, so we have our separate time.
Hmm.
But it's also knowing that if I need attention from her or she needs attention from me, we're just like a few flights of stairs away. So after Valentine's Day, when she goes back to her place, it's more of um, us trying to find out how to communicate while being 30 minutes away, like her in her own place, me in my own place, which is what a typical relationship should be like. So it's kind of it's weird because we're kind of like we started off at like at the top of the stairs, and now we're kind of walking back to the first step of stairs.
This is interesting.
It's a weird change. And like I said, I think it takes a lot of effort as well for this relationship, just because
Yeah.
it's so opposite of how normal relationships start off.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I want to ask you this, like for men, like do you find like showing appreciation from your partner is important, and how what ways what can she do for it to like be better in the relationship?
Hmm. Good question. Lucas, do you have
Hmm.
an answer?
Like showing appreciation.
Yeah.
I feel like if I feel like showing appreciation is one. It's like it's sort of like love language where
Mhm.
just you could just show the person that you appreciate them and that you love them, but just like getting them gifts or doing um I forgot what that word is.
Which word?
I don't know. It's one of the it's one of the love languages.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, Quality of time, gifts.
Quality of time, gifts, actions, something action.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's a whole list of love.
yeah. There's
There's
a
like
whole list
five
of
languages or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because how
yeah.
my ex showed her appreciation, she would be like, she would just be getting me gifts, whenever she thinks about me. So
Oh
yeah,
my god,
that
that's
that
like me.
those are kind of nice.
Yeah,
Those are nice,
that's
right?
like me because the way I show her appreciation has been I'm someone who just likes to get gifts for people for some reason, even though I don't get gifts for people on like the actual holidays that I'm supposed to, because then that stresses me out. But
Yeah.
like for some reason, like on random days, if I see something that, for example, like she likes, then I kind of would just order it and I try to like keep it a surprise for her, regardless of what day it is.
Yeah, getting gifts for like Christmas and Valentine's Day and birthdays, it's way too stressful than getting like gifts randomly on
Yeah, and I find it
just
more thoughtful too on regular days. Like
Yeah,
I actually like that more because it's like a surprise.
yeah,
yeah,
It's
like you're not really
unexpected.
expecting it, and when
Yeah,
you get it, you're like, wow, this is
yeah,
nice.
and it's more
yeah.
meaningful.
Yeah,
It is. It is.
Yeah,
That Because that is actually one of the questions I was gonna ask you after. I was gonna
Oh,
ask you
really?
like, do you think Valentine's Day is overhyped?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can answer that now, or we can wait till later.
You can answer it
No, you
now
can
because I
answer
think
it
it's
now.
Okay.
perfect right now.
All right. It's
Yeah.
perfect now. Okay. So I honestly think Valentine's Day is like, and any day could be like a day to show romance. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. It
Yeah,
could be like
Yeah.
another day. I would actually prefer like, getting roses like in March or May or April, even in the summertime, right? It doesn't have to be on Valentine's Day. Like,
yeah,
I'd
Yep.
rather show like my partner in the future, like to show like love like all year around.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
because that's what it's
yeah.
supposed to be.
It's supposed to be feel special. And I think this is with age, right? Like for me, I'm not even like in a quick hurry to find somebody.
Hmm.
What like there's like a couple of reasons. I'll tell you five reasons. Like the first reason is because I'm starting a new career, right? And I want to be really focused on that. And we're
Hmm.
not like back in like, in the older generations where like the men's like the breadwinner, the woman stays at home, right?
Hmm.
Right now things are different, right? A lot of women have their own jobs and right are really intelligent.
Yeah,
So like, and I think it's great. And secondly, I think as I got older, like I have more like respect and honor to myself and my body, so I really want to engage only in a relationship with somebody if he's worth it, because like I'm taking a lot of time and effort to know you,
yeah,
whereas I can be doing something that I enjoy more, which is like my events or like my other stuff that I enjoy, which is like Korean drama. I watch a lot of Korean drama, right? Or like
yeah.
dancing. I enjoy dancing, or like my workouts at home, which I really like.
Hmm.
And I also enjoy Bible studies, right? So
Yeah,
I could be doing that, whereas I'm spending precious time with you and getting to know you. Like you better be worth it, right? Or like this
yeah,
is not
Yeah.
cool. And like yeah, and two more reasons is that like there's a lot of like people who are quite selfish these days, right? And
yeah,
like they might have like different motives, so I really want to know like what like he's here for, how he operates, and like know his values in life. Does it meet mine, right?
yeah,
Just and like because I don't only want to like waste his time, right? Also because whereas he could be with somebody else that's more like into him and in line with his values, right?
yeah,
Yeah. And lastly, like because of my career is like, changing, and like, my family's really happy for me, I think it's like I'm starting something new.
yeah,
Right. So
Yep.
I kind of want like it's a different time for me now. I want like good things from here on out. Like, I have a good career. I want my health to be good. And like,
Hmm.
if I have a partner or no partner, like it has to be good as well. Like if I do like, end up with somebody,
hmm,
I really want the guy to be like, like I know it's hard to be fully honest with somebody because like some people have their own privacy issues and
yeah,
some embarrassing things. But like I want him to like want the best for like both of us, right? I think that's really important, and like someone that sees eye to eye on like levels of like their career wise, and also on how to like treat people. That's really important because like I know
yeah,
people who like they think they're really great, they're out of everyone's league, and
hmm,
they like hurt a lot of people. And those people, you should not underestimate people. People change all the time. They can rise from the ashes, and they can like come back at you and like scare you, right? Like you never know. So I think
yeah,
it's like so important. It's like since what we learned from kindergarten, be nice to people because people could actually come back and get you.
yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah.
That
Don't
that's why
like
it's like when I hear like friends of ours like even talking
yeah,
about how like they don't believe people can change or whatever. To me, it's just like everyone's changing. No matter what you say, like everyone's changing.
yeah.
Who we are
Hmm.
today is different from who we were yesterday.
That's true.
Everything we experience is we learn from it, so it's impossible for someone to not change at all. It's just whether that person is changing to your expectations, which is a completely different story. But people are always changing, and like you said, some people can literally just come back and just like you said rise from the ashes and just be from like they go from 0 to 100, and they're like the boss.
Yes. I know
Yeah.
people who are so determined. Like, for example, like one person like cheated on the other person or rejected them or somehow really like embarrassed them. They were
Mhm.
so determined to do good in life and then somehow show up, like, and then kind of kick their asses. But then in the end, like once they got there, they're like, okay, now what, right? Now they do other things.
Yeah,
It
yeah, it's crazy.
is.
Yeah. So, last two things
Okay.
that we're gonna bring up. So, because it's Valentine's Day, um, and because we're on lockdowns, do you have any tips or advice on people who want to get a Valentine's Day and or they have a Valentine's Day and what they can do this year?
Okay. So, like, for people who want to get Valentine's Day, I have the matchmaking event, and I'll explain it later. But
Yes.
yes, I'll explain it later. But for people who already have like Valentine's dates or in a relationship, like we'll talk about those things now, like for some
Yeah,
advices.
for sure.
So, what's really important in a relationship is communication, right? Where like the boyfriend like listens to his girlfriend and really respects her and loves her, and that and by demonstrating this, like the relationship is nourishing,
Hmm.
right? To do some activities that you enjoy together, like maybe taking a bath together, watching a movie together, cooking together.
Yeah.
And like if you want to really like, go on to your like the next step, right? Is like seeing how you could build a life together, right? But it also has to be realistic. Like some girls or some guys, they want everything at once, right? But sometimes it's not realistic, right?
Hmm.
Like a lot of women, they like, I want to get a house together. I want to get a dog together. I want to get a car together. I want to go to Japan. Like, it's not realistic to do it all at once. So it has
Yeah.
to be like one step at a time, so patience needs to be like demonstrated here. I see a lot of women that I know like they're too rushy and pushy, and
Yeah.
that makes them a little not attractive to men, right?
Hmm.
They're like when they're texting, right? Like, oh, why is he not replying to me, right? And they
Oh
keep
yeah.
on texting and texting the other person. It's not good because other people are busy with like stuff, right? Like
Hmm.
of work and stuff and cooking and whatnot.
Hmm.
So slow
Yeah.
down. Like my best advice for people who are talking to others, slow down, like, and and do other things, right? He is gonna text you back, but like he's probably busy, right? Doing
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So slow down, right? And like take a breath because you're more attractive that way anyways when you're talking to someone. When you slow down and listen to the other person, because that way you're conducting two-way communication, right?
Yeah.
There's a sender, there's a receiver, so that's when you're actually connecting and having two-way communication, right?
Hmm.
Not like just
Hmm.
one person blabbing the whole time.
Yeah.
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 So those are one of my tips for people. And like on the other hand, for men, they are expecting a lot from women. They're expecting like a woman who's to be very like physically attractive, right? To be like 110 pounds, 100 pounds, but also she enjoys a hamburger and a pizza, right? Like that's
Yeah.
not realistic, right? And she's gonna be 100 pounds. She's not gonna eat that pizza or like have McDonald's with you. She's
Yeah.
not. She's gonna be counting her macros. She's gonna be, doing her calories. So she's gonna be like, working at home, doing deadlifts or running around a neighborhood or taking walks, right? She's gonna care
Yeah.
about her diets. So like, I don't care if you say like I don't care if a woman eats like a burger and I enjoy that, but I expect her to be like fit and hot. It's not realistic. She's if she you want her to be like fit or hot, she's not gonna be eating that burger, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also like and they also have these crazy expectations of a woman having a career, being super fit, right? Also being super loving and like, being good in bed and stuff. You're not gonna have all those things, and her being quiet too, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna have all those things, right? No one's like Like you're probably dreaming, right? And maybe that's why you're still single, because like no one's like that. You're gonna have like one or the other, right? Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect, right? And good luck to you. You think you're gonna find that person, right? It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. And those people, they're working really hard for that to happen, right? And they want a lot more out of you. So that's my 2 cents for men, right? You're not gonna have the whole like the personality and like the whole full attraction, right? People have flaws. So
Yeah.
you have to take what's most important to you, right? And
Yeah.
qualities of a mate. If it's like the personality, okay, the personality. If it's a physical appearance, you're gonna deal with a person who's physically attractive, but she may not have the personality,
Hmm.
right? But that's what you're dealing with because that's what you want. So I just want to be honest there, right? People
Yeah, for
like
sure.
you have to
Yeah.
find a balance, right? Like honestly, but like to be real, I think a person has to have like a good loving heart as well as respect. That's what's most important. No matter if he or she has a lot of money, has a six pack or whatnot, if they don't have respect for others, the relationship is not gonna happen. And like honestly, in stats, in Canadian stats, the divorce rate is 38%, right? From a
Hmm.
lawyer that I saw today, right?
Yeah.
And most Canadians, like from 19 to 65 years old, 56% of people are married, right? And the mean age of divorce is 40. But what I saw in the stats, which is really surprising, is that the mean age for marriage is 26 years old.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yes, I was really shocked to see that, the mean. But like, I don't really know much people who get married at 26, right? Like
I
most
only
people
know
get
one person. That's
I
it.
only
really
know like 3 or 4 or something, but I
okay.
don't. I'm not really like close to them. So
Yeah, like I
yeah.
was surprised to see that some of these stats, but like because most people I know they get married 29, 30, and then
Yeah.
even 35 now, that age range, right? And
Yeah.
I do see some people getting divorces.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like there's 3 reasons. It's because like they don't respect each other, and money problems, and lastly like wanting children or no children.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are some reasons why people have divorces. But
It's actually funny because my
uh,
my opinion on like people getting married early or people versus people who get married later, I feel like those people who get married when they're 29 or 30, I think for them they probably are thinking that okay, like I'm gonna save up enough before I get married. And then
yeah.
for people who are getting married like at an early age, in all honesty, I feel like they're just doing it for the Instagram.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's how I feel because like I think everyone wants to have like this fancy wedding ceremony, right? So
Uh-huh.
like a lot of people that I've seen, it's usually for Instagram or it's because they got knocked up and then they had to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Unless some person like their family is like, they're wealthy and they're willing to support them and they get married early, which is fine, but like you said, like based on statistics too, people who get married at a very early age, the possibility of them getting divorced is a lot higher.
That's right. It's true because you're still immature back then, and
Yeah.
like right, and most people mature at like a in like their late 20s to when they're 30s to
Yeah.
know what they really want,
Yeah.
right? And like both like the husband and wife, they have to be willingly and be free to make their needs known to have like a
Hmm.
successful marriage,
Yeah.
right? And know how to endure times of disappointment or stress without
Yeah.
like being hostile to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like a lot of people like are bitter and angry when they're fighting, especially
Oh
within
yeah.
couples, right? And
Yeah.
like that's how and they belittle each other, right? And
Yep.
that's how like people break up, right? And there's no more harmony. So I think when you're angry, you need to have some self control, or
Yeah.
you're really gonna like there's a line you can't cross, right, when you're fighting,
Yeah.
right? If like if you have like a violent temptation, or like you're screaming really bad words, some stuff can't be undone. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
important to have some self control.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think when people argue, I think what happens is like instead of both parties trying to understand why the other person is feeling that way, they're constantly just trying to like get their own point across.
Yeah,
And then they feel like saying it louder makes the other person hear it more, but it just angers the other person even more.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to like work out differences in a harmonious conclusion.
Yep.
Yes, that's what I seen for relationships and marriages that work is try
Yeah.
to work out like challenges in harmony, and
Yeah.
also be quite like patient when you have different feelings.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So with all that being said, now we head to what people can do for Valentine's Day,
Yes.
your
So
event.
my event, so the Asian Bachelorette matchmaking, right? So we have the matchmaking event going on right now. It ends on February 14th. I've also partnered up with a giveaway with Bond Tea. They're giving away two gift certificates for bubble tea at
Hmm.
Sky City Plaza where Finch and Midland is.
Yeah.
And on my
Okay.
part at from Love and Peace, we're giving out velour lashes, false
Hmm.
lashes from Velour Beauty, as
Hmm.
well as from Laneige, some Korean beauty cosmetics that includes like a lip balm and moisturizer,
Yeah.
and also a 1 year free matchmaking subscription where I'll be helping you match the right candidate and
Hmm.
find, hopefully the lover of your dreams, which is really great.
Yeah.
So the actual matchmaking, what it consists of is that we have a half an hour virtual relationship assessment where we go through like your personality, your hobbies, and what you like and what you don't like about a person, and
Hmm.
some challenges that you have in the past, where we will be discussing that how we could overcome those barriers,
Yeah.
and match you with the person that you're looking for. So instead of just matching, we're also developing new things, right? Of you know, of things that you like, but also things that you don't like, but things that
Hmm.
we could work on,
Yeah.
right? So most people are single is because like they're very stubborn on these traits that they have, but they also don't see other things that they don't know about themselves, right?
Yeah.
So my job is to find out what they are like, but also things that they don't know about themselves that we can work on, right?
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
then we send them unlimited matches, so it's between 4 to 5 matches a month. And once you start dating somebody, we will assess you once a month to see how the relationship's progressing, and that's how it works. So the last day to sign up is on the 14th, and
Hmm.
that ends the Valentine's promotion. And yeah, it's great. It's mostly young professionals
Hmm.
who graduate from school or people who've been working for a long time.
Yeah.
I have
Mhm.
lots of different clients. Most of them, they can't find somebody is because they're busy and also because of COVID.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. COVID is a annoying thing.
it is.
Super
And
annoying.
yeah,
Yeah.
the vaccine is coming out, which is like in August, right? For people who are not first line workers.
Yeah. But
I
also
think so.
supposedly they keep cutting our shipments in half or something, so we're getting less
Yeah.
and less doses, which is another issue for us, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Hopefully things go well and there's not too many bad side effects. I have asked like a dermatologist, like my dermatologist, like, cause he got the shot.
Hmm.
Does he feel anything? And he said he feels nothing. He feels good, great. He got the Pfizer shot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's hard because like the vaccine's gonna react differently for every single person. So for example, like some people, they're getting tested positive too, but at the same
yeah.
time, it's also how the vaccine works. Because they do take like dead parts of the virus and kind of inject it in you, kind of thing.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's it'll be interesting to see how it all goes on.
Hmm.
And I do hope that everything is going to return back to normal, maybe by the end of this year. I'm pretty sure you
Hopefully.
missed the in-person events that you organized too, right?
I do, but I also enjoy like working from home
Oh
and
yeah,
the virtual like the Zoom calls and like the
yeah,
meetings. I like that too. I like that too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I guess that concludes our episode this week. Thank you, Cora, for coming
Thank
on.
you. Thanks for
Thanks for
having
joining
me.
us.
Yes, you guys
Yeah,
are great. I
It's
love
always
it.
nice to have you.
I love the conversations.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah,
fun and so in depth, and like we talk about like some deep and dark stuff too.
yeah, I know. I know we went right into like cheating and all that stuff, which
Yeah,
is
we
Yeah.
did.
which is fine. Which is fine.
Yeah,
It's always fun to kind of see how the conversation goes just naturally.
yeah.
So yeah. So yeah. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for Cora for guessing, and we will see you guys next week.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Sad Boy Podcast.
Please remember to subscribe to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and have a nice day, I guess.
Yeah, stay sad or happy.
Yeah,
Sad?
happy.
Sad?
Sad
Happy?
boy.
Sad Boy Podcast.
Sad Boy Podcast. Good night.